Well, today we spoke with a former JSO director about use of force in situations like this. News4Jax reporter Janice Harris is here with the difference, Janice, between use of force and excessive force.
Yes, and this definition is important. There is a fine line between use of force and excessive use of force, and state law gives officers the ability to actually strike a person they're trying to take into custody, but every circumstance is different.
Don't teach me for.
This is Jacksonville Sheriff's Office body cam video of Lakeem Woods being detained by officers. He has been tased and face planted into the street. An officer tells Woods to put his hands behind his back.
You hear me? Yeah. Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back.
For 2 minutes and 12 seconds, Woods does not comply by putting both of his hands behind his back, and an officer is seen striking Woods. Though hard to watch, 30-year law enforcement veteran Tom Hackney says it appears to be valid use of force.
The portion that I watched, it did seem consistent not only with the training from FDLE, with the force deployed there, but also with my decades of experience with the sheriff's office here in Jacksonville. The training is consistent with JSO policy.
Hackney said Woods displayed an aggressive resistance because he was failing to give his hands, and when his hands are under his body.
As an officer, you've got to control situations. You just can't hope for the best when it's there. There are officers who have lost their lives from similar incidents just as this.
By state law, a person is not justified in the use or threatened use of force to resist an arrest by a law enforcement officer or to resist a law enforcement officer who is engaged in the execution of a legal duty if the law enforcement officer was acting in good faith and he or she is known or reasonably appears to be a law enforcement officer. However, law also says a law enforcement officer or any person whom the officer has summoned or directed to assist him or her is not justified in the use of force if the arrest or execution of a legal duty is unlawful and known by him or her to be unlawful.
I used to work in law enforcement myself.
The family attorney for Woods argues that the strikes to Woods were not justified.
In this situation, you had Lakeem on the ground in a prone position, who's obviously hit his face on the concrete already and dazed. There was no threat of deadly force there.
As the administrative review continues, decisions will be made by JSO and civil court on the actions of Woods and the officers involved.
And it's unclear how long this review will last, but it's important to note that officers can strike a person they are trying to arrest if that person does not comply. However, again, every situation is different. Joy?